This video is a short overview of road classes and why road classes are so important when developing a simulation model. What's shown here is our completed study area network with a color theme based on the assigned road classes, and the labels are showing the speed limit that's associated with each of these classes. So what do these classes actually mean and imply for the model, and how do we decide which link is assigned which class? To answer those questions, we just need a little bit more information about the classes themselves, which we can find under Simulation, Road Classification, View Summary. So this table is a master list of all of the available road classes that can be assigned. We haven't deleted or added any yet, so what's shown here is available by default. And we see here a few of their attributes that describe their impact and operation in the model. We're only going to focus on a few of these for now. Speed limit, desired speed, and free flow speed. Road classes should be assigned to all links in the network based on their functional class. You should take a moment to review the speed limits of those classes to make sure they are appropriate for the study area. If they are not, then the speed limits of the road classes should be changed to reflect the posted speeds in the field to the extent they may be determined from survey, GIS inventory, Google Maps Street View, or other source. The reason for this is that the speed limit has the biggest impact on the model in terms of the actual speeds that the simulated drivers are traveling. Every driver has a desired speed, which is based on the speed limit itself. So to better explain this, we'll open the Simulation Parameters menu under General, and then go to Desired Speed Distribution. So we'll look at Standard for now, since the standard distribution applies to most classes. What this is saying is that some percentage of drivers will choose to try and follow the speed limit exactly and not deviate from it, and some percentage of drivers prefer to go slower, and some prefer to go faster. So changing the speed limit of a certain class or changing the class of a certain link is going to have a big impact on the results we see once we start recording simulation output. On the other hand, free flow speeds have an important role in certain output metrics such as vehicle delays and urban street level of service. But again, vehicle speeds during the simulation are influenced by the speed limit, not free flow speed. So if you're watching a simulation model and tabulating results and the speeds on a freeway you're seeing aren't as high as you thought they might be, and you want to find a way to adjust a parameter to increase them, adjusting the free flow speed of those freeway link classes will actually have no effect at all. In fact, if we changed the free flow speed of the freeway to something like 75 or 80 instead of 70, the only effect it might have is actually inviting more demand onto those links, because now there's a lower free flow travel time and more shortest paths may choose that link. So this brings up just a couple of questions that we'll address in this last part. and one is, what if the speed limit that we found in the field was 50? On this list, there is no class that has a speed limit of 50. So what we would do in that case is just add it and create a copy of the existing class that most closely resembles the one we want. So in this case, we actually noticed that on the west leg of Henderson Road, so that's where we're positioned here on the map, we notice there's a speed limit posted of 50. So to appropriately assign this in the simulation model, we need to stop the simulation first, because they're going to be locked for editing. So edit road classes, and then for the existing major arterial road class, we can just rename it major arterial 45. So this represents its default speed limit of 45, and then we'll create a copy by clicking add and name it major arterial 50. And then for that new class we just created, we'll change the speed limit to 50, and we'll just up the free flow speed to 55. Now when we make links, the working layer, we can go to info and query this link. Now we see that the previously assigned class of major arterial, it now has the 45 added, and then the major arterial 50 is one of the options in the drop-down menu. So we'll make that switch. And then similarly, you'll notice that all of the ramps in the model have a speed limit of 40. And this is because there's only one ramp class that's available by default, and it just happens to have a speed limit of 40. Obviously, that's not the case. In many ramps, there are posted speed limits of something higher or lower than 40. Especially with loop ramps, where the speed will decrease pretty quickly once you exit the freeway. So it is very common to go into this menu and create multiple copies of the ramp class and assign a range of speed limits and free flow speeds to each of those ramp classes. So for the default one, we can change this to ramp 40, and then add, make a new one for ramp 30, and then update the speed limit and the free flow speed. So for this loop ramp, we can just reassign this to 30 if we want. So these have been lost from the theme because when this was created, they're based on classes that no longer exist, so we can just redefine.